Hi guys, I'm your host Otieno, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Daily Drive Show, where all we do is talk about cars. We have a very interesting car today that is popular for people who are looking for their first time cars and for people who are looking at efficient cars to buy that saves on fuel and that is both economical in terms of fuel economy and also in terms of maintaining and operating. The car that you're about to handle today is the 2017 Nissan Note Medalist, and underline the word Medalist because we'll find out about that in just a moment. So stay tuned and don't touch that dial. The Nissan Note is a mini hatchback that was introduced into the automotive industry in the year 2004, and it was well accepted and it has undergone various changes up to this time as we are talking. It is still under production and a lot of changes has been made, like the transmission, the engine and all that to make it to what it is now. So today we have the 2017 Nissan Note Medalist, and as we dive deep into it, we will notice that this car is not similar to the other Nissan Note. There is the Nissan Note and the Nissan Note Medalist, there is the Nissan Note Rider, and each have their own kind of uniqueness. So the Nissan Note itself does not come with all the things, all the added options that come with the Nissan Note Medalist or the Nissan Note Rider. So as you have the Nissan Note Medalist over here, you will find that the Nissan Note Medalist has some options like the fog lights that are not in the base version Nissan Note. Another thing is that the Nissan Note Medalist has leather seats inside and also has a very powerful sound system that is not in the base version of the Nissan Note. So as we start onto the front profile over here, you find that from the 2017 variant of the Nissan Note, you get these headlamps that are very technological. It has a daytime running light strip over here and it has projector lamps over here. That means that these lights are very powerful. When you go to drive at night, these lights will not fail you. And these lights combined together, they are very expensive when it comes to replacing them. So if you have a 2017 Nissan Note Medalist, you should take very good care of it. So when you move to this side, we have this piece over here, and this is one of the pieces that are being stolen a lot in the Kenyan market. I don't know about it in the other countries, but in Kenya this piece is stolen a lot, and what people do to secure this piece over here is they go and rivet these four parts over here. So after riveting these parts over here, it secures it down, and when people try to break it, it will just break into two and it will not be resellable. So we have a grill over here with the big Nissan badge at the center over there. The grill helps with the airflow inside the engine, and you will find that this car has a supercharger. The original Nissan Note, the base version, does not have a supercharger mated to it, and that is one of the things that makes the Nissan Note Medalist unique. I also like the red color that comes with this car. It has a very nice wine red color that is good for the ladies and also for the gentlemen who appreciate the red color of cars. This car, when you look down here, it also has proximity sensors that can help you to know where you're driving, and also helps with the collision detection assist of the car. So that means that when you're getting close to a car that is in front of you, this car will automatically give you a warning and it will apply autonomous braking so that you don't hit the car in front of you. We also have a chrome strips that run all the way to the side of the car, and these adds onto the beauty of the car. All these things over here make the car to be what it is. Let's dive and look at the engine of the Nissan Note Medalist. Under the hood of the Nissan Note Medalist, the first thing that I notice is that this hood is very small when compared to other cars, and you see it's being held by this thing over here. People in the Kenyan market call it toothpick. So when you go down, you find the engine of this car. This car comes with a small engine. It comes with a 1200cc engine that makes around 130 horsepower. That is because this engine comes with a supercharger. There is a supercharger on this engine, and you will notice that the supercharger has the Reynolds writing on it. So this means that this supercharger was created by the Reynolds company. So the supercharger together with the engine work together to give high-end speed to this car, and the purpose of the supercharger is to give the car extra torque at low speeds. You might ask yourself the difference between a turbocharger and a supercharger. You will find that a supercharger gives the car boost at low speeds, but the turbocharger gives the car boost at high speeds. So this car comes with a CVTF gearbox system, the transmission system that other people hate and other people also like. So Nissan has had some challenges when it comes to the CVT transmission, and the CVT transmissions, you will find that other CVT transmissions, like for the X-Trail and for these cars, when you take it on a long trip, you'll find that the transmission fluid overheats, and this will make the car to stall on you. So what do people do to combat these issues? So what people do is that, first of all, you must ensure that you put the right transmission fluid in your CVT transmission. And the other thing is that if you're a person who always goes for very long trips, ensure, and underline the word ensure, to upgrade your transmission to an aftermarket CVT cooler. Buy an aftermarket transmission fluid cooler and install it on your car, and you will forget the issue of the overheating of the car. Another issue that comes with these Nissan cars is that the cars tend up to eat the bushes faster than other companies like Toyota. So what you need to ensure is that to take your car to the mechanic, so that if the bushes have been eaten out, they can be replaced. So let's go and look at the side profile of this car. Let me just close the hood over here. So the toothpick latches over here, and this is how it's closed. It's a nice little hood, and when you get onto the side profile of this car, here we get size 15 tires that come standard with the 2017 Nissan Note Medalist, and it also comes with rims over here that are sport rims that have the Nissan logo on them. So as I go back over here, you get that this Nissan Note has a very low ground clearing, and this means that you can't go to very bad roads with this car. So what do you do when you have such low ground clearance? One of the things that you can do is to upgrade the springs of the car, to put aftermarket springs that are a bit bigger and that have good tension, and also upgrade the wheels. Size 16 or 17 wheels can still fit well on these cars, and that you will have sorted the issue of ground clearance. And you find that these cars, when you carry people, you find that the car goes very low, and that will make the car to scrape when you go over sharp bumps. So when you upgrade the spring and upgrade the wheels, you will find that the car will serve you properly. So right here we have chrome door handles, and the door handles have a button over here that you can just use. When you have the key with you, you can just press and it will either unlock or lock the car. So the window at the front here is not tinted. That is usual with the Japanese cars. The back over here is tinted, and you find that there is also the chrome door handle right here. Many cars that are being designed nowadays have the door handles that pop out, and the door also opens in stages. You see, it opens in stages. That way, when you open the door, it will stick to a certain position, you can open it further, and this door opens in a 90-degree angle. That way passengers and cargo can be loaded into the car well. The fuel cap of this car is on the right, and the taillights take it from there, and you come to the back section of this car. The back section of this car, you find that the car is not so tall, so tinted glass over here. There is this windshield washer, the windshield wiper, they work hand in hand. When you want to open the boot, there is just a button over here that you can press and it will unlock the boot. So when I unlock the boot, before that you see the Medalist badge over here, and when you unlock the boot, you get ample space over here. I can fit inside the boot of this car, and so this car comes with a boot space of like 365 liters, which is bigger than the Suzuki Swift, and it is also bigger than the Honda Fit. And we also have a storage space down here where you can put your spare wheel down here, or you have another option of the tire repair kit over here, or the tire compressor that is here. We also have the tools over here that you can use to open your wheel when you want to change the tire and all that. That is it on the walk around of this car. We can go and look at the interior of the Nissan Note Medalist. So we are in the interior of the Nissan Note Medalist, the 2017 model. And as I said earlier, you will notice some things that are obviously different from the basic version of the Nissan Note. And the first thing that you get when you get inside this car is the aspect of roominess, you know, the aspect of space. When you enter this car, I must say the headroom that I get over here is very good, and the legroom that I get is also very nice. You get the essence of a long dashboard when you sit over here and look at the front of the car over here, and the driver's position is also good. You see that I also have an armrest over here. I can be cruising as I rest my arms over here. That is an essence of comfort. And also when you get into this car, you find that this car has a nice two-tone leather that has some kind of brown color with black color that is leather, and it also has brown stitching on the seats. And on the part where I sit on over here is fabric. That is very technological, because you find that leather seats, they wear out with time, and so the engineers who engineered these seats, they decided that the part that the driver or the passengers are going to sit on, they put fabric, and the part where the body is not in much contact with, like these sides over here, they put it to be leather. And also the armrest over here is leather, and it has a nice soft touch to it, which is luxurious. This is a perfect car for the first time drivers, by the way. If you're a first time driver who is looking to buy your first car, you should go to buy this car, because this is a car that does not need a lot of maintenance. This is a car that does not need a lot of expenses in terms of fuel. This car will give you a good 20 to 24 kilometers to the liter, because it has many features like eco mode. Imagine this car has 1200 cc and it also has eco mode. That means that the 1200 cc engine does not take much fuel, but if you put the technology of eco mode onto this car, it even consumes less fuel. That is why you will see some of these cars being used as taxis, and other people use them for daily drivers going to work and all that good stuff. So these are cars that will not give you so much stress when it comes to the car ownership part of it, and it will give you good value for money. So when I start from this side over here, you find that this car has a quite a big window when you look at it, and it also has handles over here that are metallic in material. So we have the controls that control the window over here. Only the driver's side is auto, and we have the auto lock, auto unlock for the doors, and we have the child lock for the windows. So coming to this part over here, we have the vents from my right side over here, and we also have a couple of buttons over here. We have the button to set your odometer when you want to see how many kilometers you've gone, and we also have quite a couple of buttons over here. The first button that I see is the collision detection control of this car. We also have the idling stop control over here that you can turn on or off. What the idling stop does is that when you're going to a place and you find that you're in a jam and the jam is going as it stops, the moment you bring the car to a complete stop, the car will turn off completely, and this will help to save fuel. And the moment that you will just lift your foot off the brake like this, the car will automatically turn on and you will be able to drive as you go. So that is a plus for this car. Many other cars also have it. We have the traction control button. You will also always have to keep the traction control button because it helps making the car to have excellent grip as you go over slippery surfaces and all that. It also helps the car so that you will not skid. And so when I go to the gauge cluster over here, this car has 3 gauges, 2 analog gauges and 1 digital gauge. It has an RPM gauge that goes all the way to 8. It has a speedometer gauge that goes all the way to 180, and in the middle of the speedometer gauge we have a digital cluster over there that gives you information like how many kilometers per liter your car is consuming and all that good stuff. It also has some ambient lighting on top over here that if you're in eco mode it will light up blue, but if you're in sports mode it will light up red. And on the far right part of the car you find that this car has the gauge that shows you the level of your fuel. So that is really nice about it. We have a steering wheel over here that is not entirely round. It has a flat bottom that gives an essence of sportiness to this car, and it has good grip to it. It has stitching over here, and it's kind of leathery and it's kind of plastic. I don't know which material this is, but it's not plastic and it's not leather. Over here we get a couple of buttons on the left side of the steering wheel that you can use to adjust your volume. You also have some buttons over here that you can use to control whatever is happening on the navigation screen over here. You'll not have to like put your hand to the navigation screen over here. You just use the buttons over here to navigate. And so we also have speech recognition over here that when you press, there are some receptors in the car. They are on this side of the car and also on the other end of the car that picks up your voice and will intelligently use the AI inside this car to do whatever command you have told the car to do. We also have the phone button over here to accept or decline the call, and also the source to change the infotainment system, whether you want to play music from the AUX port or the AV or the FM port. This car has a very light steering wheel over here. It is an electric steering wheel. The difference between an electric steering wheel and a hydraulic steering wheel is that the hydraulic steering wheel uses a power steering fluid that goes to some pump and it uses it to make the steering wheel lighter. But the electric steering wheel does not have the hydraulic power steering fluid. It has an electric motor that has some sensors that when you turn to the right, it will pick it up and turn the motor towards the side that you're turning, and it happens so fast you will not even realize it. So this one has an electric steering wheel. And onto the infotainment screen over here and the infotainment section over here, you find that the upper part of the infotainment system has the vents over here that can be used to, you know, to blow in the air from the AC, and that is really nice. It has a really nice design over here. And down here we find the the infotainment screen that you can use to look at the back of the car when you're reversing. You can use to check the map. You can use to do all sorts of configurations. And so from there you go down here and you find the climate control system over here that has been placed here, and it is round in shape. You see the buttons are aligned in a round shape, and you also have these screen over here that you can use to see the mode that you are in, and that is really good about it. We have a couple of storage spaces down here where you can put your phone. We have cup holders here and here. We also have a couple of cup holders at the door over here, and there are speakers here that has a really good sound system. This car has a traditional shifter over here that controls the CVT transmission down there. It has the PRNDL, which the white people call them Prindle. So there's echo button over here that when you want the car to be in eco mode or out of eco mode, you just press this button over here and you'll be in and out of the eco mode. We have a traditional handbrake system over here, which is a really good sign. You find that other cars have a button that you just press and it will activate the handbrake, but if the battery of the car goes down is when you will find difficulty, because you'll have to put a secondary battery pack to charge your battery so that you can remove the car from the handbrake, so that you can let the handbrake loose. This car has a very intelligent rear view mirror over here. This is a rear view mirror that when you turn on the car, the rear view mirror will just be, it will show you via a screen. There is a camera behind there. It can be a mirror, and it can also display what the camera is seeing behind there. So depending on the preference of the driver, let's go and look at the back seat of the Nissan Note 2017 model. The back of the Nissan Note Medalist is surprisingly huge. When I'm seated here, we haven't adjusted anything, and you see I get plenty of legroom and also get ample headroom. And when I'm seated over here, the seats that I'm seated on are very comfortable. I get a headrest over here. Some cars do not have it, and I also get quite comfortable cushions that I sit on over here. And so this car at the back over here, I get holders that were not there in the Toyota Passo that we had reviewed earlier. And it also has good handles over here that are metallic, and nothing much going on here. We have cup holders down here. There is the speaker down there, and when you get to the middle passenger part over here, you always find that other cars have transmission tunnels over here that makes the middle passenger here to have quite some difficulty while seated here. But this one, it's almost flat. They have kinda taken the transmission tunnel down, and the passenger who will be seated here will be catered for very well. And also, when you're not carrying the third passenger over here, you can just use this place as an armrest. There are cup holders over here that are hidden when you don't want them, but when you want to use them, you can bring them down like that and put your cups, your drinks over there. Or if you don't have drinks, you can just rest your arm over there. So this car is a very comfortable car. This is a car that will give you value for money. If you're there and you're looking for a car to start and you have a young family, this car will be perfect for you, because it has very good boot space, and it also has a very ample headroom and legroom, and it also has the ISOFIX features over here where you can just fix your child seat if you have a child. You see these signs over here. You can use the seat over here to fix your child seat, and your children will be safe as you enter this car. This car also comes with 2 sets of airbag for the driver and airbag for the passenger over there. And also the seat belts are here for 3 passengers, and they will help in the safety of this car. This car has a very good safety rating when you ask me. And that is it about this car. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of the Daily Drive Show. Keep it locked. That has been our review of the 2017 Nissan Note Medalist. And if you want that specific car that we have reviewed, you can come over to Riri Cars in Kiambu Road, and you can call the numbers below on your screen and they will give you a good deal. Just tell them that you watched the review on the Daily Drive Show and they will give you a huge discount on that specific car. So we will see you next week with again another explosive episode of the Daily Drive Show. Keep it locked.